Unlocking the magic of authentic Chile Verde means diving into a world of vibrant flavors, passionate culinary tradition, and a reverence for simple, high-quality ingredients. This beloved dish from Mexican cuisine is more than just a stew. It's a sumptuous celebration of roasted green chilies, slow-simmered pork, fragrant spices, and a depth of flavor that can only come from patience and dedication in the kitchen. Cooking Chile Verde, like a pro, is about honoring tradition while mastering technique, and learning to respect every step for the flavors it coaxes from the humble ingredients. Let's embark on a journey to create a Chile Verde that's as rich in history as it is in taste. First, consider the essence of Chile Verde. It's all about the sauce. Here, the star is the tomatillo, a small, green, slightly tart fruit encapsulated in a paper-like husk. Alongside the tomatillos, an assortment of green chilies provides not only heat, but also the signature vivid green color and complex taste. Pasilla, Poblano, or Anaheim chilies each contribute their own personality, so choose with your preferred heat and smokiness in mind. For a truly authentic touch, always roast the chilies. Place them on an open flame, under a broiler, or on a hot, dry skillet. The skin blisters and blackens, taking on a subtle smokiness that carries through the entire dish. Once the chilies are evenly charred, wrap them in a kitchen towel or tightly lidded container, letting them steam. The trapped moisture will help loosen their skins. After about 10 minutes, peel away the blackened skins, revealing supple, deeply flavored flesh underneath. Remove the seeds for a mellower heat, or leave a few if you crave a fierier stew. Roasting the tomatillos is equally important. Remove the papery husks and rinse away their natural stickiness. Cut them in half, lay them on a baking sheet lined with foil, and broil until they soften and bubble, developing sweet, roasted notes and a gentle tang that forms the backbone of the sauce. Toast a handful of fresh garlic cloves and wedges of white onion alongside the tomatillos for balanced flavor and richness. Adding fresh cilantro stems to the roasting tray infuses the sauce with an herbal freshness. Once roasted, combine the chilies, tomatillos, garlic, onion, and cilantro in a blender. Add a bit of chicken stock to loosen it all and blend until smooth, but still with a hint of texture. Season with salt and a splash of freshly squeezed lime juice. The acidity will brighten and unify everything. If you're a traditionalist, you might even pound the mixture in a molcajete or stone mortar and pestle, which lets you control the texture and better preserve the fresh, bright flavors. Now we turn to the meat, which has a special role in Chile Verde. Pork shoulder, also known as pork butt or Boston butt, is the cut of choice. Its marbling of fat is perfect for braising, slowly breaking down into fork-tender pieces while enriching the broth. Cut the pork into bite-sized cubes. Don't trim all the fat. It melts into the sauce, yielding incredible richness. Season the meat generously with salt and pepper and brown it in batches in a heavy-bottomed pot. Take your time with this step. Deep, golden sear on each piece builds flavor at the very foundation of the stew. Be patient as the meat develops a caramelized crust, filling your kitchen with savory aroma. Remove the browned pork and set aside, leaving behind the fat and browned bits, or fond on the bottom of the pot. To build more flavor, sauté a bit more chopped onion and garlic in the rendered pork fat, scraping the bottom to release all those flavorful bits. Only once the veggies soften and begin to caramelize do you pour in the blended green sauce. Sizzle it in the hot fat until it thickens slightly and darkens in color. This step intensifies the flavors and coaxes out an earthy, roasted depth. Add back the pork, along with any of its juices. Pour in chicken stock or water to just barely cover the meat. Traditional Chile Verde simmers low and slow. Bring the pot to a gentle bubble, then reduce to a barely there simmer. Cover and cook for at least 2 hours, stirring occasionally as the pork tenderizes and the flavors intermingle. Skim off any excess fat that rises to the top. You want richness, but not greasiness. Taste as you go. Does it need a pinch more salt? Perhaps a squeeze more lime, or a handful of fresh chopped cilantro stirred in at the end? Let your palate be your guide. As the Chile Verde cooks, Revel in its aroma. The mingling scents of roasting chilies, sweet tomatillos, caramelized pork, and fresh herbs evoke memories of Mexican abuelitas in sunlit kitchens, lovingly tending to their family's favorite comfort food. That's the heart of cooking Chile Verde like a pro, respecting the process, savoring each step, and understanding that great food is more than the notes of flavor, but the act of sharing and tradition. When your Chile Verde is ready, the pork will be meltingly tender, and the sauce lush and thick enough to coat a spoon. It glows with an inviting green, speckled with bits of chilies and cilantro. The taste is tangy, just a little spicy, savory, and deeply satisfying. The kind of flavor you remember and crave. Serve it with fluffy steamed rice, tender tortillas, or creamy beans. If you're feeling adventurous, spoon it over huevos rancheros for breakfast, dollop onto juicy tamales for lunch, or tuck it into burritos for dinner. To elevate your Chile Verde, the finishing touches are crucial. Sprinkle with freshly chopped cilantro, perhaps a few rings of raw onion for brightness, and a wedge of lime, ready to be squeezed. Some like a dusting of Mexican queso fresco or cotija for a salty accent. Radish slices cut through that richness, and warm, soft corn tortillas invite everyone to mop up every drop. Set out bowls of chopped onion, cilantro, hot cease, and pickled jalapenos. Let each diner customize their experience. Many pros also make Chile Verde ahead of time, as the stew only improves with a day's rest in the refrigerator. The flavors meld, the sauce thickens, and the pork tastes even more tender. Reheat gently, stirring often, and add a splash of broth or water to loosen the sauce if necessary. Chile Verde also freezes beautifully, making it a perfect make-ahead dish for busy weeks or festive gatherings. Let's not forget the versatility of this dish. While pork is traditional, chicken thighs or even jackfruit can be substituted for a lighter or vegetarian take. Just remember that the heart of Chile Verde remains in its vibrant, roasted green sauce. Some cooks add hominy, potatoes, or chayote squash, stretching the stew and adding delightful texture and substance. A swirl of Mexican crema or sour cream on top mellows the heat for more sensitive palates. Mastering Chile Verde is more than just learning a recipe. It's about understanding the why and how that underpins each step. Roasting intensifies and concentrates flavors. Browning the meat establishes a flavor base. Blending fresh herbs keeps the sauce lively, and patient simmering melds everything into harmony. Take pride in the details, because that's what turns a simple meal into an unforgettable feast. If you crave a deeper, smokier taste, toss in a few charred jalapenos, or add a pinch of cumin or Mexican oregano during the simmering process. Seek out fresh, locally grown chilies and tomatillos. The quality of your ingredients will always shine through in the final bowl. And if you're sharing with friends or family, encourage them to spoon up seconds. Chile Verde is best enjoyed communally. Reflecting on its origins, Chile Verde arose from Mexican home kitchens, where slow-cooked stews were a way to transform modest cuts of meat and garden-fresh produce into hearty, memorable meals. Its roots lie in central and northern Mexico, as well as the American Southwest, where regional variations abound. Some recipes lean heavily on tomatillos. Others highlight roasted poblanos. In New Mexico, bright green hatch chilies often take center stage. Yet the spirit of Chile Verde remains wonderfully consistent, an earthy, lively, and deeply comforting dish that warms the soul as much as it satisfies the appetite. Smart cooks use the time while their stew simmers to prepare accompaniments. Fluffy Mexican rice studded with peas and carrots pairs perfectly. To make it, cook the rice in a touch of oil until the grains are toasted, then simmer with tomato, onion, garlic, and broth until light and tender. Tangy pickled red onions or quick pickled jalapenos add zest. Simple black or pinto beans provide earthy, creamy counterpoints. And of course, no table is complete without a towering stack of soft, warm tortillas, perfect for folding around chunks of pork and sauce or for dipping into the rich green stew. For a festive meal, consider plating Chile Verde family style in a large serving bowl, surrounded by toppings and sides. Let everyone serve themselves. The camaraderie and casual sharing are intrinsic parts of the Chile Verde experience. Pair with light, cool beverages, agua fresca, horchata, or even a citrusy Mexican beer. Your kitchen, for that meal, becomes a space of history, family, and laughter, a place where every bite is a celebration. If you want to make your Chile Verde unforgettable, develop your own signature twist. Maybe you finish with fresh epazote or a splash of mezcal for smoky depth. Perhaps you try a slow-roasted pork shoulder in the oven for an even more restrained and melting texture, or experiment with fire-roasted tomatillos over an open flame for maximum char. Each cook who masters Chile Verde inevitably develops their favorite variations, building on tradition while stamping the dish with their own personality. And when you spoon that first mouthful, savor the complexity, the youthful tartness of tomatillos, the warm smokiness of roasted chilies, the gentle heat, and the tender richness of pork. It's not just food, it's memory, it's celebration. It's an invitation to gather friends and family together for a meal that feels both comforting and excitingly new. With each batch you make, you sharpen your skills, learning to recognize the subtle shifts in flavor that come from each variety of chili, each head of garlic, each armful of cilantro. You learn when the sauce is ready by its glossy sheen and beguiling aroma. You gain confidence, perhaps serving your Chile Verde proudly at the next family gathering, potluck, or holiday feast, knowing that you are now part of a chain of proud home cooks, each perfecting this dish in their own kitchens. So, to cook up authentic Chile Verde, like a pro, remember this. Start with fresh ingredients. Roast and char your chilies and tomatillos for unparalleled flavor. Brown the pork with care. Build your sauce thoughtfully, letting the flavors meld and develop over unhurried simmering. Taste, adjust, and trust your senses. Above all, respect the tradition, but don't shy away from making it your own. Serve with all the warmth and generosity that the dish inspires. And in the end, as everyone reaches for seconds and the pot grows empty, you'll know you didn't just cook a dish. You created a vibrant, personal tribute to a timeless classic. That's how you make authentic Chile Verde like a pro.